Good Friday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Friday. Starting off, what is going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Right now, it's looking nice and dry. Nice and dry, no rainfall statewide. But if we see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., so you got some rainfall down there in Florida. So you have some flash flooding, even some flooding, some flash flood emergencies going on in Texas for some more dangerous, catastrophic flooding. And then also some more rainfall going on up there in the UP of Michigan, and up in the Northwest. Now, in terms of cloud cover, we do see some cloud cover, like over like the Petey areas, but overall, everybody else looking mostly clear. And we do have some cloud cover, in some other spots, but again, mostly clear. Now, looking at our cloud cover for the future, as we push this forward, going to around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., you can start to see some of those showers and storms start to develop later on this afternoon. As we get more and more into the evening time, into the nighttime hours, here it's like 10 p.m. right here, cloud cover starts to really explode. And then as we get to around 12 a.m., things again continue to kind of just grow from the low country all the way up into the upstate areas. Now, for our current temperatures, we're talking about 89 in Beaufort, 92 Somerville, even 92 in Georgetown, 87 Myrtle Beach, and 92 in Sumter, 93 Columbia, and 90 in Greenville, 90 in Spartanburg and Gaffney, as well as York and Rock Hill. Air quality for today, it looks like that the majority of us actually it may actually be half and half, but a good amount of us are inside the yellow and the green. If you're in I guess not really green, but bland color. If you're in the yellow, you have a moderate risk of air quality, not the worst, but also not the best either. And then if you're in the bland areas, which would technically be the green zone, you're good. You have nothing to worry about in terms of air quality. So if you're in the yellow today, just make sure that you're paying attention for those for that air quality as you move into later on today. High temperatures for today, we're talking about, high 90s from 97 in Greenville to 100 in Chirac, 98 Columbia, 97 in Muggs Corner, 93 near the coastal areas like Charleston, Hilton Island, 92 and Myrtle Beach, 94 in Georgetown. Heat index values for today are going to be hot, 105 all the way up to maybe like 109, 110 degrees as we go into today. So if you're in the low country, the Midlands, the PD, the Grand Strand, make sure that you're paying attention. And in the upstate, even though the upstate not going to be as hot, it's still, 102, 103. Winds for today, going to be pretty calm, around 2 to 5 miles per hour. And then even as you go into like the coastal areas, you're around 10 to 15 miles per hour in terms of those sustained winds. Wind gusts are going to be from around 10 miles an hour all the way up to around 20 miles per hour today. Rainfall definitely is possible. You see a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch for a good amount of areas in like the upstate, the Midlands, the Low Country, and the Grand Strand, the PD areas. And it's really just because of that scattered shower and storm chance. Wherever those scattered showers and storms are going to occur at, you definitely can see some of these totals going on in these, showers and storms. Now, remember, showers and storms, when it comes to storms can usually go on storms can usually go on and produce more than what we were expecting, obviously. So some may see more, some may see less. Obviously, we don't know. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. Now, for the SPC outlook, here's Friday. You have a marginal risk of severe weather up there inside the upstate now, like the foothills area, just to the west of Greenville. But looking like the rest of the state, everybody has a risk of thunderstorm activity for today. And then if you're in the dark green, you have a 5% risk of damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. If you're in that dark green area, please make sure that you are aware of some isolated damaging wind gusts later on. Excessive rainfall is not expected. Crazy score at a 27. Heat advisories are in effect right now for a good amount of areas. And then as we go over into the models, we're going to start off here at 11 a.m. Push this forward, and you see those showers and storms starting to pop off by around 1 to 2 p.m. or so. And then as we get to around, 4 p.m., it just looks like a regular summer's storm day. You have showers and storms kind of scattered around the state here and there, even as you get into the evening hours. And then as you move to 11 p.m. to 12 o'clock in the morning, things start to calm down. But I'm looking up there in the upstate, and around later on this afternoon into like the evening hours, seeing what those storms do up there in terms of severe weather. Now for the NHC, we're looking for obviously these two areas, the one down here in the eastern side, not really too worried about that. Significant development of that system is not really expected, but it does continue to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms. The one that I'm looking at is over here in the Gulf, an area of low pressure is forecast to form this weekend over the northeastern Gulf. Some gradual development of the system is possible while it meanders over the northeastern Gulf, northern Florida, or the extreme western Atlantic near northeastern Florida early next week. One thing that it did do though, it did shift further west, and if you remember what I said earlier, um, last night, I should say, I said there is a potential that this thing could, move a little bit further towards the west, just due to what some of the models and the ensembles were saying. And it seems like that they did move it over because it was completely on the coast of South Carolina. Now it moved, a little bit further towards the west. So they are changing it up a little bit. This has a 0% chance of forming over the next 48 hours and a 20% chance over the next 7 days. So we're watching for these areas, seeing what they have to do. But for right now, just gotta wait, and I'll have a more deeper forecast as we go into tonight because it is the morning time forecast. We're not going to go too much in depth with it. So I'll be back tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. for your Friday evening forecast update. Make sure that you're there. Also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the share button. As we are trying to get to that main goal of 800 subscribers. We're at 768, so let's go in and get there. Hit those two buttons before you leave if you're new, and be back tonight.